guys, welcome to a not so cheery episode of TrackRats Garage. I'm Jackson, but you can call me Jackrat. So, this episode is about Project SuperScoob, which I have not introduced you yet because, as stated in my first episode, I kind of crashed it before I started filming. So after months and months and months of arguing with the insurance company over the value of the car, how much damage there was, it's finally come back as a complete write-off. So what happened was I was coming home from work one night. It was raining. It was Christmas Eve, and right in front of me, I don't know if I was looking at the radio or what, I actually don't remember, but I looked up and the car in front of me had done an emergency stop. So I smashed the brake and I just could not stop fast enough. And I plowed right into the back of the car. Now normally that wouldn't be too big of a deal, except for I hit a lifted Mercedes G-Wagon, and so her rear bumper went straight through my grill and my radiator instead of my bumper. My bumper was untouched, but my radiator and my core support went straight through the front of my motor. That's not the biggest part though. The reason the car was totaled was because the frame underneath the passenger engine mount had actually been forced downward and buckled the frame. Now I didn't believe it because the accident was less than 10 miles an hour. In fact, the airbags didn't even go off. But after arguing and arguing and arguing, I finally made the insurance company actually take the car apart at their cost to verify, because they couldn't actually show me images of the damage. But they took it apart. I went to the garage, and indeed the frame was buckled down. It was only about 5 or 10 degrees, but it was buckled. And since that car was 12 years old at the time of the accident, it was definitely not going to be worth their time and money, and definitely a write-off. Now, I really love that car. I've been trying to build one of those properly for a long time. I've actually owned two in the last 4 years, and they have both just gone to hell for whether it's a reason of my own doing, like the accident, or something totally not related to me. That car has been such an issue for me, even though I love it so much. I think I have to resolve the 2005 Subaru Legacy GT Limited Edition as my Eleanor. It is just a car that's given me a world of problems. I love it so much that I've kept coming back to it, and it keeps giving me even worse and worse problems. The first one that I owned, I had built up quite a ways, but in the 2 years that I owned it, the cat converter went out, the up pipe went out, the front diff went out, 2 of the wheel bearings went out, the brake system went out, as well as the clutch and the turbo going out. So I eventually just dumped that car, tried to get some money back on it, bought a Ford Focus ST, didn't like that, bought an Infiniti FX45, couldn't afford 12 miles a gallon, and then bought another of the exact same year, make, and model of that Subaru, my current one, the silver one that you saw in the images. And then I bought that car with a brand new rebuilt motor from a shop that I trust, or trusted. New turbo, new water pump, new timing belt, new everything. So it was, effectively a new motor and transmission. And then 3 days after I got the car, there was an engine knock. Now, it wasn't a terrible engine knock. It was not happening on start up or shut down of the motor, but it was happening whenever you revved and when the engine was cycling back down through the RPMs. I took it back. They looked it over. They said they couldn't find anything. If it ever got worse, they would take a look at it again. Then I had a turbo blowout, a brand new 600-mile turbo that they swore up and down was dirty oil. I told, the whole argument, how could it be dirty oil? It's only been 600 miles. I bought the car with a new oil change, etc. And eventually they had to replace the turbocharger. But they made me pay for half the labor. Now, after that, there were just issue upon issue when it comes to the tires, the tread wear, the alignment kept getting pushed back out. I even went under it, took everything off, and inspected the frame to make sure the frame was actually straight, because the tires kept getting pushed out of alignment. Then after the turbo was replaced, the knocking noise was still there, and they found out that it was the up pipe. The up pipe was actually decaying away and sending metal shards through my turbocharger, which is what blew the first one out. So after all of that, arguing with them again about how that was the issue, not dirty oil, I got all of that stuff taken care of, and weeks after everything was taken care of and the car was functioning perfectly, I was sitting at a red light and I got rear-ended by a teenager texting in a Volvo. That almost totaled the car itself. That was more than $5,000 of damage. They messed up the frame from the back, but it wasn't a total value loss, so the car was repaired. And then, of course, 4 months later on Christmas Eve, I fucked the car up. So, needless to say, my history with this vehicle has been less than 3 years, and I've had a ton of financial pain and heartache with this car. in all, it's spent about 3 to 4 months of me owning it for 3 years in a shop. But I still love the car, and it's still really hard. I'm fighting myself not to buy another one. That's how much I love it. So I think that car has to be resolved to as my Eleanor. So over the next coming week or two, I'm going to have to sell the stockpile of parts that I had waiting to do that project, as well as go find something else, which is going to be kind of fun. So that's a bonus. I am going to set myself a rule and stay away from one of those Subarus. In fact, Subarus in general, because I think that they're quite overpriced here in the Pacific Northwest. But I'm going to try and find something else. Something that I haven't owned before, something I haven't worked on before, but something along the same line. So I'll be looking for that, hopefully, here in the next week or two. And hey guys, I'm sorry about talking so fast and putting so much information in such a small video, but I wanted to give you guys an update because I'm not able to post and edit together a true episode right now just because of my time constraints with work, and I didn't want you to sit here and listen to me talking to a cell phone for 15 minutes, so I'm going to try and make this short and quick. Now, I do have some previously recorded stuff that I was going to put into episodes for Project SuperScoob, exhaust clips, changing out exhaust, stuff like that. I might throw those up over time in some, random outtakes or unused videos episode or something like that, but don't expect too much from that car. Most of what I have on that is images because I didn't have all the cameras ready, all that kind of stuff to start filming. But hopefully here in the next couple weeks, I'm going to be buying a new car. I already have a couple lined up for you to see. I'm not going to tell you what they are yet. A couple of them lined up already. I got to go check them out. They got to get, inspected by mechanics, that kind of stuff. And hopefully I'll have those ready and getting some parts, getting some cool stuff here in the next 2 weeks, but I'm going to hold myself to a month just because of how busy I am. And thank you guys. I know I only have about 100, 150 views and a few subscribers, but thank you guys so much. It is actually really cool to see coming from me. And hopefully I can get more of these videos out because even though I only have, that many views coming in, I still want to make some cool content and hopefully some interesting and fun stuff for you to watch. And so keep looking forward for that. I'll keep posting to the channel as much as I humanly can and much as I can get edited here. In the next coming month or two, I'm going to be hoping to get back onto my scale of 1 episode a week. But yeah, thank you guys so much. If you enjoyed the episode or any of my episodes, please like, share, comment, subscribe, or if you just like them and you want to keep watching, just keep watching. Thanks so much, guys. I hope to see you next time real soon.